Congressman Peter King of New York. He's a key member of the House Homeland Security and Intelligence Committees. Congressman, thanks for joining us. So here's the question. Is the U.S. positioned to deal with this expanding terror network?
Wolf, I don't believe we're doing enough, and I think that the president really sent a false signal over the last several years by constantly saying how core al-Qaeda have been decimated. And I think even 2 years ago he said we're back to a pre-9/11 stage. The fact is al-Qaeda has metastasized. We have all of these groups that you mentioned and Philip Mudd mentioned, and specifically regarding ISIS, as far as stopping their offensive, it's, I think, impossible to be able to stop them without some use of American ground troops. And the president always talks about tens of thousands of getting involved in the ground war. No, I don't believe we have to do that, but I do think that we have to have ground troops as far as providing intelligence, as far as being spotters, as far as coordinating training, maybe being embedded with the Iraqis, with the Kurds. I mean, it has to be some American presence on the ground. Also, without an American presence on the ground, it's virtually impossible to get any real intelligence from that part of the world. So I think the president has gone, it's hard to rally the American people, and it's hard to send a signal of confidence to the rest of the world when the president is always talking about how we're going to be withdrawing, we're going to be pulling back, and about these victories that he sees us attaining over al-Qaeda. And that's really a totally false topic. It's not core al-Qaeda per se, it's the entire movement. Some closely affiliated, others loosely affiliated, others just sharing a common ideology. So this is going to be a long, hard war on many fronts in the Middle East.
I'll ask you what I asked Ben Rhodes, the president's deputy national security advisor. We know that U.S. and British intelligence, they know the identity of this guy, so-called Jihadi John. There he is right now. He's the guy who threatens the beheadings and probably goes ahead and does the actual beheadings. I'm still confused. Why hasn't his name and picture been released? What's the downside of letting the world know who this guy is?
Yeah, well, again, I have no inside information, so I would just say that my instinct is to agree with you. I would think the more people that would know of this, the better it would be. And also, if we are going to have any hope of, let's say, using bounties in that part of the world, that the more people who would recognize him or see him, the better it would be. How really significant it would be, I don't know. But I don't think there's any real downside to it, unless there's something out there, that we're not aware of. But on the face of it, I would say that it makes more sense to release the photo, the identification, and the name, all of that, rather than withholding it.
I'm told that if the Jordanian F-16 fighter pilot whose plane went down over Syria was captured by ISIS, assuming he's still alive, if he's beheaded or if he's killed, Jordan will respond very, very harshly against ISIS. I'm not exactly sure. I have no idea what they would do, but this would be unique because Jordan is basically a pretty peaceful country.
But they are a very, very strong ally. And going back to Jordan, I guess in 2005, 2006, when that brutal attack was carried out, the bombings were carried out in Jordan, and in Amman, actually, in the hotels. And it was soon after that they killed the leader of, what was ISIS. They went all out to do it. When they want to do something, they really can. And then, again, I have a great regard for King Abdullah. He is, I would say, clearly our closest Arab ally, and he has a very effective fighting force, and they are assisting us against ISIS. They've been of great help to us ever since 9/11. They've been there as much more than any other Arab country. So I would say to have them fully mobilized against ISIS, it certainly can only help us, put it that way.
We got to leave it there. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
Just ahead, we'll have more on the mystery of Jihadi John, as he's called. Should the U.S.